September 20th march. This is a huge coalition, and the people that I invited October 1st are the core organizers. So that's working out really well.
So it's building. The movement is building.
Well, we're reaching out. So far, we've reached out to about 350 organizations here in Ottawa to join up with the march. Not just to walk, but help us organize it and donate and help make it happen. Because I guess what people are hoping for is that we're going to go back to the kinds of numbers we had in 2019.
Yep.
So there's a lot of pressure on us to make that happen. But as long as we promise that the flash mob will be there, I'm sure we'll get good coverage and lots of interest.
That's just wonderful. Okay, good luck to you. We'll be following you with interest. Patricia, you have the last word.
No, it's actually, you missed Carol.
Oh, Carol, where
Oh, go ahead, Patricia. But just before the last word, I'll chime in.
I'm so glad. Okay, Patricia.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carol, because I'm totally new, so.
Oh,
Okay, Carol.
well, actually, I'm pretty new to this. This is new to me, too. I'm on a couple of other committees, Patricia, but please feel free to go ahead.
Okay, you want me to go ahead?
Sure.
Well, I just want to thank Linda for getting us going here. I live in Kamloops, and I just came from a meeting with Jennifer, our first little meeting to try to get something together for September 20th. We haven't done anything before this. There are other climate change oriented groups in Kamloops, such as Transition Towns and Food Policy Council and so on. I'm new to Kamloops. I've been here almost 3 years. I come from a much smaller community called 100 Mile House. So I'm trying to get to know the community. So Jennifer and I just had a little meeting. We need more people. We need to enroll more people and organizations. So right now it feels like a huge task to get anything going. There have been climate change events in the past, but not at least in the last 2 or 3 years or more. And there is a bit of burnout in the community is what I'm sensing. So some people have already told me they're too burnt out to help out. So yeah, I'm just here to listen and learn from you.
Okay.
To get some simple ideas.
Okay.
Jennifer said today that we have to get a permit from the city to do anything, so I'm a little concerned about that, but.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. Okay, Carol? Carol?
Yeah, and I saw that Lori asked Patricia if you're on the BC list, and that would really be valuable and important for us because we're also sending a lot of stuff out to different groups in the province with resources and things. So thanks, Lori. Great.
How do we get on the BC list?
Well, I guess, Linda, do you have the contact? Great.
Yes, I can, I can send that to you. It was a little bit premature for me to do that, so I will send that information to you, Patricia.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm with I'm in Vancouver and I'm with the BC Hub and working as well with Lori and other groups in the provincial. We're trying to fan a lot of stuff out to the province, but it's a big province, and so it's really great to have the support and collaboration. So anyway, what we did on October 1st, and I gather, Jane, that what you're doing partly is helping people to think about different tactics that people are using in their local areas that they found successful. And it's been really interesting to hear the different things that people are doing.
Well, there have been some brainstorming sessions, and then between all the things that people have come up with and a bunch of things that are in my books, there's just dozens of tactics.
Yes.
This meeting is for you people to meet each other, because I guess what I really hope is that if you all take on, or some of you take on this idea of doing the ribbon, that you'll keep in touch and you will share resources. Somebody wants a song, like, you've got so much going for you. If you could make your own I don't know, Trans-Canada Ribbon Network, then you would have less work. And that's what I'd love. And I can tell, I mean, I think that you're all fantastic, and I can tell you think that about each other. So today we're not so much talking about tactics as what do you want to get out of this idea of using the ribbons? Like, what's in it for you? And what do you think we have to do to make the most of it? How can we maximize this idea? There's something about it that really appeals to you. I'd like to know what that is.
Oh, great. I'd like to say something about that, because that's why I came to the meeting, is I really wanted to learn about the ribbon, and I didn't understand, but I'm delighted also to have had a chance to meet different people and where you're from and know what you're doing. So that's really helpful. But I am really, really keen to learn about the ribbon. So rather than me talking about what we did in October, let's go to the ribbon.
Okay, we're going to start with Letitia. What's in it for you? What can you get out of this ribbon thing?
Well, for one thing, Seniors for Climate Action Now, because that's what we are in Ottawa, we're not responsible for programming during the march. Like, this is a huge organization. We've got we're 24 different people on the last team meeting last week. We're doing an event at the end of the march, but we do really want to push and encourage the ribbon idea for the march, but without, we don't have any, we're not responsible. So I want to be able to present ideas to the organizing committee and just, they'll do with it what they can. And I won't be able to have any decision-making power on that. But is there a way that we can use, I was looking at the video from Europe that Dave Smith shared today.
Yeah.
Did you look at that?
Yeah, I sent it to you. I thought it was terrific.
Yes, the ribbons that had messages written on them and tied to all kinds of things. I was wondering if they don't go with any kind of ribbon idea for during the march, then maybe we can do something at the end of the march. Does it sound crazy to ask people to bring a length of ribbon and write a message on it and be ready to do something with it at the end of the march? Does that make any sense?
Makes a lot of sense. The Red Rebels were on Toronto Island Beach the other day.
Oh, yeah?
We took down rice paper and we had crayons, and we said to people, if you want to send a prayer to Lake Ontario on the solstice, then come and write. People came down the whole beach just to get white paper. They wanted to write a prayer to water, and there were lots of Europeans. There were children, and these things just dissolve within a second. But that idea of putting I'll stop. So I think people would love to do that, and others should look at that video, because we were thinking about the ribbon as being this massive thing, 3 blocks long, but these are hundreds of small ribbons. Maybe they're 24 inches long, thin, with a message written and then tied onto something. So
yeah, the problem with having this long, at first we were thinking of meters and meters and meters and meters of red cloth, to march with through the streets. And then the person who had come up with the idea said, that's too wasteful. That's ridiculously wasteful. We have to think of something else. So I think the ribbons tied to a rope and used along the march could work too. So I sent the woman responsible for that, the video that Dave sent us this morning. I asked her to look at it. So fingers crossed that they're going to make use of the idea.
Okay, well, look in the chat, and Lori has put these prayer flags being carried by a human chain. Can you see that in front of you?
I saw the prayer flags in another meeting last week, and that's also something that I've been suggesting.
What if there were ribbons all along those?
Right. I like the prayer flags too. Why not both?
Both, yes, absolutely. Like in between every prayer flag, you could have half a dozen ribbons.
Oh, I like that. Good idea.
We're probably
Because
going
we're trying to get the artist community involved too. Musicians, artists, actors, like, you know. Anyway, enough said.
But anybody into crafts or sewing or quilting, they would be there in one shot. I mean, I would even send you some myself from my quilting. To have my words as part of something like that would be brilliant. Okay, who's next? Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Oh, hi, Dave. Edwin, you're on.
So, I just, another thing we did at joining the rally last time, we had a workshop before the rally and we made puppets, sort of things you can wear on your head or carry. And we're probably going to, continue with some theme of that. But we had a meeting, I just came from a meeting with our organizing group and we talked about the ribbon concept. And I think we're going to move forward with it. I think the plan is to invite people to bring their own little, 1 meter by 50 centimeters cloth that's decorated with what they want. And we're going to tie them together at the rally. Mm-hmm. But the other thing we're doing, we're going to walk down Main Street with it. And we also have a social organized after the rally at a local kind of a venue that's licensed. And we're going to hang the ribbon on the inside wall around the inside of the venue so people can talk about it and share ideas with whatever's on the panels.
Right, very nice. Do any of you have an overpass near where you live, like over the highway? Well, that's what some people do. They take whatever it is they've created with a giant sign and then they hang it on the overpass. Anyway, I really do think, I keep thinking about those big ribbons as musical instruments. Like what if you sewed bells, jingle bell, the jingle skirts, if you had bells on them, and then you had musicians, and you could actually wave the things, and it could become instrumental, and there could be dancing, there could be singing, there could be dating. People might date. Well, you have enough music, enough fun, enough dancing, dating invariably ensues. Okay, who's next? What's happening?
Okay.
But we can't rewind.
Okay. Okay, so the people who've already spoken, just say in less than a sentence, your idea. Just get your idea down there.
Well, they're stolen ideas from the video. Dave said that people bring like a ribbon of their own with a message on it. But I also like the prayer flags, having ribbons interspersed with prayer flags too, for the more artistic that would want to do something visual. So either tie them onto ropes for during the march and then tie them to something after the march and leave them there, like make it a permanent display.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, Anne and then Barb.
So I just sort of wanted to make an observation, and that is that what seems to be emerging, well, I'm always concerned about why are we doing this? And I'm two reasons sort of popped into my head, and I was just wondering if this is on the mark or not. But I think one is obviously to raise public awareness and consciousness of climate change, to get people who don't normally think about it to start thinking about it and maybe taking it in. And then the other thing I see too is these are all like the Red Rebels, the Red Ribbon. These involve people with different skill sets, different talents, different interests. So you're using these tactics not only to share a public message, but also to build the movement by showing people that, well, there's a place for you here in the climate movement. You can contribute to it. So that it is in itself a form of movement building. So is that correct at all?
Well, I would say, do you think it's correct? I think it's correct. Like there's this idea of action logic. Like if it's just something that's happening and no people walk by and they have no idea, then I think you've missed the boat a bit. So there has to be the kind of signage, there has to be flyers, there has to be literature, there has to be something about what you're doing that's informative. Some things are really obvious, like if you're blockading, a ship that's got coal in it and you don't want it to get into your harbor, well, then your action logic is pretty clear. But a lot of things we do, like Flash Mob, like Red Rebels, you have to be really clear. This is about stop lending to fossil fuel. Just like this, it's a message loud and clear, and you get together on it and you have that one message and you really, really hammer it home. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving. Barb, thank you, Anne, for that.
Just for the purpose of the recording, can you talk about the rice paper again? Because it's not going to be, the recording happened after you talked about the rice paper.
Okay, well, Red Rebels went down to the beach on Toronto Island, and it was summer solstice, and we did this thing about, Mother Earth and the water and Lake Ontario, etc. We were sort of channeling those Indigenous women who walked over 14 years around the entire Great Lakes, And so we kind of had that, we dipped our feet into it. Anyway, we had this rice paper and we had crayons, and we invited anybody who wanted to put a prayer to Mother Earth or to the water or to the lake. And they would write on it and then they would put it into the lake. And people came all the way down the beach, because they wanted to put their thoughts. And they put the thoughts in a variety of languages. It was very moving.
Where do you get the rice paper from, Jane?
I don't know.
Is it like rice paper that's meant, cooking rice paper?
I don't know. I'll try to find out because somebody in our team bought it. I just wasn't me.
Okay.
An art supply store, you can get rice paper at an art.
Oh, it's water dissolvable. Okay. All right. Keep going. This is very, very, very fun. Who's got another idea? Like, what is it about this flag thing? I mean, this ribbon thing that you think will catch people's imagination? Because as others were saying, this is a chance to reach out to people in different communities and say, we've got this thing going and we know you're as worried as we are, but here's a way of getting on board, and we need you and we want you.
I'll just say that rallies, if you announce a rally, it has a whole concept and a mindset, and some people are not interested. But if you're talking about a rally and ribbon walk, that makes a difference. It still is going to get the message across in a colorful way, and it has movement, and I think it softens the idea of rally. That's what I want to say.
What about like the idea of it's being 3-generational and children are invited to bring their ribbon?
How could we make that happening?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, David, you're up. Oh, and then Laurie.
Daisy kind of said what I was going to say, which was it's the color and the movement that is so attractive to people. And I'll just comment that for the Toronto Earth Day event, there was a group of people that had ribbons that were probably 2 feet wide and 30 feet long, and they used them to kind of reflect I'm going to say severe weather, but the whole idea of whether it's water or something like that, it was interesting to watch it. Once again, it attracts people's attention.
They were billowing it up, and they had a sort of a narrative that went along with it. Okay, Brian, and then Letitia.
Yeah, I just I know you're on a specific theme, but I would just like to mention that I attended a rally a couple of years ago where the participants laid down in front of a building on the street. And that was very, very impactful. I know it's a very different vibe than what you're talking about, but it's something that might be worthwhile in some, and that's something that would really apply well if you got kids to do it as well. Wow. To indicate this is what happens if we don't go to green energy.
Yep.
So I just wanted to get that idea in there. I have to leave at 4:45, so,
Well,
but I really love the ribbon idea, and I think I'm going to propose it to our Calgary people.
well, who knows this, what they're called obviously is a die-in, and I've been involved in a few of those. And
Yeah,
it is very powerful and
yeah.
quite scary. And if you refuse to get up and leave the bank, the police will come in and get you and make you leave. So, so it's moving in the direction of direct action. But I don't know. I'm there. I'm there with you, Brian. Absolutely. Like I'm no more Miss Nice Guy. I'm like that. Okay. Letitia?
People were wondering how to get the message out to get children, like 3 generations out. I'm a retired teacher. I've been reaching out to all the teachers' unions and the retired teachers in the area and on the Gatineau side too. That's another thing too. We have Gatineau to draw on to. All the Quebec environmental groups too are being invited to be part of this. So the teachers' federations, the student associations, in all the colleges, universities, French and English. So reach out to your teachers' unions. They're the most supportive teachers' union this far has been the elementary teachers.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Good. Yeah, this is a key thing as doing community organizing is who's out there who would like to be part of it. And when the Red Rebels started up, I'll tell you, we were kind of nervous because we thought people might say, you're encroaching on the red dress movement. And so we're worried that we might be told to, get out. But the Indigenous community has been very welcoming and we get invited. We don't actually turn up at anything, but they specifically invite us and we feel very welcome and it's a great help. So just think what Indigenous community do you have nearby and could they come in their ribbon skirts? What ribbon thing do they have going for them? They love ribbons. Ribbons are a very powerful expression of the women's community. So get those ribbon skirts there. Anyway, think. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful idea. David, you're next.
So another idea, I don't know, in parades, I've seen people that have flags, and sometimes they're fairly large flags or pennants. And usually, if they're in a group, they're synchronized. So their movements are synchronized. So, like the flags move one way, then they move another way, they move up, they move down, all that kind of stuff. And once again, it's very attractive. But you have to have, I guess, a choreographer to be able to put everything together for you. But the idea is it's the flags that people watch.
Hmm. Wow. So are all those prayer flags like they're independent little squares? And she's put some beautiful examples in the chat. But what would happen if you sewed some of them together so that they were like small quilts and they would be like flags? They would be in the shape of a banner, or would that would be sort of sacrilegious to do that? Lori?
Um, when we did the flags, the idea was, I think we've done it before in the city, for Earth Day, and the high school kids made them and then stitched them together or something. And then it's been growing and growing. We've been adding to them. What we did before Earth Day was we had the pieces of material, which are old sheets that we picked up from secondhand stores.
Yep.
And we prepared them, and then we contacted the teachers, like grade 2 teachers, grade 4 teachers, and asked if they would be interested. And it was a really fun activity with a climate sort of environment thing. And many of the teachers said, we would love to do that. So they gave the kids, an hour or something. And we went back and picked up the flags. And then somebody in our group stitched them onto rope that they had bought. And they're about 3 meters or 4 meters each length. And so they're easy to pack into a box and bring out anytime we want. I personally would like to see them in public, to be seen and looked at and appreciated. People in my group are protective of them because people have made them and they don't want them to deteriorate. I look at it as a gift that they've given
Mhm.
that they want to share. And if we keep them in a box, they're not doing what I would think they should be doing if we bring them out twice a year. So, people have different connections to whatever you make,
Yeah.
and they have different ideas about should it be a silent vigil or should it be chanting and singing. It's so interesting when we're working in a group. So one way to get the kids involved, certainly with this kind of a thing, is say, make this up and then come to our event. So it's going to be on a Saturday. Well,
Mhm.
that if it is September 20th in your community. If it's on a Saturday, a lot of kids might be in activities, but they might be available. They may have older siblings that might bring them, but there is that engagement when they've made something, they kind of want to come out and participate. And so that was the first time we had that many kids because they had actually made the flags and they wanted to come out and be part of the event. So it was pretty powerful. We had about, I guess, for Earth Day, we had about 50 or 60 people.
Wow.
And it was a Tuesday, so parents were working. We didn't get all of the kids and all the parents. But we did for World Water Day, there was an art walk and the whole town was doing art things all over. So we were allowed to have a table. A lot of people came by. And of course, because they were artists, we got some amazing flags and they don't care what we do with them. Like they're just here's a bit of my art. And it's delightful. So we have, 2-year-olds and then experienced artists flags and they're all just from the heart. It can be very powerful.
I have a question because I'm a quilter and you put together, you sew together pieces of fabric. And I was part of a group and that we donated these quilts to people, the young people, homeless people who were coming out of a specific shelter. When they left, they got this bag with a quilt in it. And there's also this concept in our area where you give awards to evil doers, to the worst perpetrator of pollution in your community or whatever. And uh, plaques are made and stuff like that. What if you did the opposite? What if you made up these quilts? And if there's somebody who's taken a really good vote on council about something, they were awarded this. Or somebody wrote an article in the newspaper, they were awarded. Or somebody has long-term service in some sort of a climate friendly organization. So it's a gift. I mean, you've got works of art right in hand there. How can you turn a work of art into something that's going to get you media attention, make somebody's heart warm, and draw more people into the movement? We're going to have an awards ceremony. Letitia?
This is a bit off topic, but it's kind of, you've reminded me of what a group I belong to called Mère au Front. It's a Quebec group and they have chapters all over the province. So there's one in Outaouais. All over the province, they have created what they called La Chaise des Générations, the chair of generations, where they find chairs, old chairs, like in the junkyard or, secondhand stores, and they take them to a school and have kids paint them and write messages on them and present them to politicians like the mayor. So the chair is present at every council meeting, or the chair is present at the National Assembly in Quebec City. So they're all over the province, and we almost got one in Ottawa, but it fell through. So we are going to plan another one. But you want a way to get children involved and not just at these special events like during the year, but like if you want to work with children and different community groups, classrooms, the chair of the generations. And the main thing is not getting it painted, it's getting it accepted into a political public space where it's there permanently as a reminder that any decision these politicians make affects future generations. And that's what the chair represents.
That's the best idea I've heard in months.
Quebec, they're so creative in Quebec.
Just amazing. Hi, Mia. I can see that.
Hi.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yes, sorry I'm late, but I suddenly needed to look after my grandson, so he just left.
Oh, that's really nice. That's what
I
I do a
al-
lot of the time too.
I always say family comes first.
Yes, me too. Me too.
But is there a Zoom link for this?
Yes,
Can I watch it after?
yes, it's being recorded. You can.
Okay, great.
So we've got about 7 minutes left. Can we have any, last words? I would like to just to say, how far along are you in thinking that you might use some aspect of the ribbon ceremony in your action, whether it's a small part at the end, or you're going to lobby to get it as a major part, or you're going to collaborate with other groups to do something. I mean, you might cover a chair in ribbons. I don't know what your heads are are putting together right now, but just tell us if you're moving in the direction of some sort of action planning. Help us move there.
So I'll say that when you talked about prayers to the water, I think it was to the lake. It occurred to me that there's quite a bit of interest that's building around what's happening in Falls Creek here in Vancouver. And I thought, because I'm going to a meeting tonight that's looking at tactics locally, to bring this idea, at least the ribbon idea. I suspect it's already there, but I'll bring it in as well. And maybe with the thought of using it around Falls Creek and English Bay.
Well, maybe if you handed out ribbons and each ribbon had, sewn to it a piece of paper. I don't know. You could combine these things. I think that's where the artistry comes in. How are you going to combine it to something unusual that nobody has seen before? Thank you. I'm going to pass that on. Anybody else thinking action planning?
I just came.
Quickly, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just came from a meeting about 2 hours ago with our organizing team, and I suggested we do this, and there's certainly interest. So I'm going to be working on this for the next week or so, trying to find space we can create them in an art house, and also places we might be able to show them for a week after the event. I know we plan to host it, show them during our social, but I'm hoping to find a place we can leave them for a week or so people can drop in and look at them after.
Very good. I wish you all the very best, Edwin.
Thank you.
I'm glad you've got a plan. It's great.
Jane, I wonder, there's a lot of creative ideas that have come up here, and I know I've taken a few notes, but I'm wondering if it's possible that in, I don't know, maybe 10 days or a couple of weeks from now, we might reconvene, and maybe with the other group that you also talked with about the Red
Rebels?
Yeah, to sort of see how this has matured within the groups, to like, maybe some people are going to have, like I have very, beginning ideas now, but I imagine after a conversation or two, those ideas will start to get bigger and bolder and so on.
No, you're exactly right, because when I was doing those booklets on tactics, like I was always scrolling, I was reading books and articles and looking through the internet, just hours. And I might not have an original thought in my head, but once you see this, oh, they did this in Portugal. Good God. And they were all 12-year-old girls. Have you any idea of the power of 12-year-old girls in the climate movement around the world? Anybody looked into that? Well,
No.
They are a dynamite. So those girls doing this, and then they have ribbons, and then they got into canoes and they paddled to Australia. Like you suddenly these things all come to you. So the more you talk to each other, the more you'll come up with wonderful and unique thoughts.
Sorry, I just want to quickly add that there is something called compostable ribbon. That's what we are going to use in Oshawa. And yes, and it's made in Canada.
Oh,
Where did you get that, Zoe?
I will send you I'm putting it on the chat.
Oh,
I didn't hear right. Did she say compostable ribbon?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's a great idea. Now then, David, I want to just ask you this idea of Carol's. What do you think about at least this group sort of calling their reconvene just to check in on how you're doing, or let these people themselves make that happen if they choose?
I have absolutely no issue with setting another meeting up in 2 weeks, maybe at the same time, and I'll be on time this time.
Oh, don't worry about it. We were fine. We spent most of that half hour talking about what happened last October, so it was good. But anyway, would anybody like to talk to each other again? Just how are you doing? What ideas have you come up with? How have you decided to put this together? Put up your hands if you might like to talk again about these things. Okay, well, we've got 6 or 8. That's enough. That's enough.
We have too many meetings already. Sorry.
Well, maybe it's not necessary. It sounds like you've got your 36 people that you're already in coalition with, maybe.
Yes.
And we're not in charge of the march, so we're
Oh,
not.
when was the last time that slowed you down? Like, have you not done lobbying your whole life?
But this was wonderful and super useful. And thanks for the compostable ribbon. I never even thought of that. That's great.
For the chair of generations.
Oh, yeah. Jane, I could send you something about that.
Okay, I'm going to pass
But
it
it's
up.
all in French.
Well, you know what? Maybe everybody should make their own, because maybe you've seen this stuff in New York where all these seniors took rocking chairs.
Yeah.
An intersection. They stayed in the intersection 24 hours in their chairs, and they were disruptive.
Right. That's the third act, right? Bill McKibben's group.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for this.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks very much. Thanks, Jane. That was interesting and nice to meet you all and hear your ideas.
It was great to meet you all, and I know we'll hear more about what shenanigans you get up to. It'll be changing world change.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the people who weren't in Jane's earlier presentation on the Red Rebels, Dave has put the link to our meeting from this morning in the chat. I would recommend that you watch that because it was quite inspirational.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks, Lori.
It's inspiring. Bye-bye, Mia. It's nice to meet you.
It's available on the Seniors for Climate YouTube channel. If you look under workshops.
Okay. Barb, nice to see your beautiful face. Bye, Edwin. And
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Dave.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
bye-bye.